we like to follow up as many of the leads that you send us as possible here, and we try our best. So when Tony and Judie Ellis got in touch on a different matter, it was to say that they invent toys in their home which are then sold worldwide. It's a good news story, if you like, and Nick couldn't resist it, and here he is.
Welcome to Cube World, where stick people stick together.
This is Cube World, a toy that's sold in its millions around the world. At a time when toy design is dominated by the US, this product has its origins in the countryside of East Sussex. Tony Ellis began life as an electronic engineer working in avionics, security and early GPS, but turned his skills to toy design and now calls himself a conceptioneer, inventing new ideas for toys, particularly in the field of voice recognition and interaction.
Hello, Rupert.
Hello.
What shall we do?
Let's play a counting game.
His wife Judy, who previously worked in banking, runs the business with him. This Rupert the Bear is a product that they've worked on, and it was launched this week. They deal with some of the world's biggest toy manufacturers.
It's a serious business. The thing is that it's a great business because people will always want toys for their children, and people will go without actually to give their children toys. So it's actually a great business, and it's a business that looks for innovation all the time, which really suits us, because actually some of the most advanced products that come out are toys first, and then when we're doing voice recognition systems, we're doing biometrics in some cases in toys, and so it's very advanced stuff, and it's very fun to work in this industry. With some of the chips that we develop here, we're only one of 6 in the whole of Europe that actually develop these chips, and so that does give us another unique footing that we work from.
Give me an idea from idea to sort of concept to delivery. How does it work between you and your partner in life?
Well, first of all, the idea, the eureka moment, and from that eureka moment we draw up a concept sheet to get the ideas, and then we brainstorm them further, because what we need to do is get them into the right, can it fit the right price point? That's very critical. It doesn't matter how good the product is, if no one can afford it, then there's no chance of it ever getting into the market successfully. The idea I had with Cube World was I wanted to have a digital world that could expand on your desk, and it could get bigger, and then I wanted the characters to be themselves. I wanted them to be different, and I wanted them to act in a non-predictive way, so that they'd always be fun and you'd never know what they were going to do next. And so the idea came up of making them into cubes with little graphic screen, and the characters can leave their cubes and go into other cubes and have parties. They hinder each other, they pester, they can actually even help each other, because in some of the series we have like a DIY cube guy, and he will go and do the plumbing in the other cubes when it leaks and things like that. We've got a fireman now in series 3, and we've got a policeman that looks after all the naughty people in the other cubes, and that was it, to build a digital world that we could just keep expanding, and that's been our most successful product to date.
Tony and Judy earn their money by licensing their products. They normally get paid an upfront advance, and then every 3 months they receive royalties on any products sold. The size of the advance depends on how many countries the toy is going to be marketed in, and the royalties are normally between 2 and 6% of their net sales. For example, Cube World is their biggest selling product, as we've heard. On that they received an advance of around £35,000, and for every unit sold they get 30 pence. But they don't start earning those 30 pences until they've generated the equivalent of the advance. So in this instance, they had to sell around 116,000 units before they received the royalties. Judy, a bit like Santa's grotto here. I mean, we've got everything from a talking talkie-chalky machine to the Shreks, to the cubes and everything. But the important thing is, for all these products, you have to find a market for them. And the pitching process is kind of just like we see on TV, isn't it? It's a tough process.
It's absolutely a tough process. It's very much like Dragon's Den to some extent. Maybe not quite as fierce, but you do only get a certain time limit to sell your concept. You make an appointment with the manufacturer and you take along your portfolio, you pitch to them, it could be of interest to them, maybe not. They may hold it for a while and then come back to you and say, yes, we want to run with it, or they may come back with a negative and say, no, I'm sorry, but it hasn't made it this time.
You've been down the road of patents on a number of products, I imagine core products, but that's very expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is expensive, but if you've got something that's very, very unique, the company that licenses the product from you may actually think that it's worthwhile investing in the patent themselves, and that way everybody is protected.
Tony and Judie are now working on a series of new toy designs, but not surprisingly, in such a competitive toy market, they remain a closely guarded secret.